Today, I would like to walk you through my process of automating an estate planning durable power of attorney for financial matters. You will see just how easy and quick it can be to automate your documentation. So I like to start with assessing and reviewing the document for questions and answers needed in our questionnaire. I like to highlight the areas in my first review in order to ensure that I'm finding every instance of when a variable is necessary. As you can see here, I have highlighted the information already in this document. For best practices and organizational purposes, I prefer to use an Excel spreadsheet to organize and maintain records on each of the questions. This variable name will come up later. As you can see, we have C1, which I refer to as my client. So C1 is client 1 name. We also have the client 1's county, the client 1's state. Here are the 3 successor trustees. Obviously, there can be more or less. We're going to actually highlight this because we're going to replace it with a table on Documate. In that table, I will need to know the relationship to the client, and we'll also need to have the trustee's name. Now we are on our Documate site where we will begin with creating a new workflow. I'm going to name this our Durable Power of Attorney Video Demo. All right. This is going to lead us to our opening page where we are going to begin our questionnaire. As you can see from our Excel spreadsheet, we want to title this page after the first 3 questions we have here in regards to Client 1. So I'm going to title this page Client 1 Information. You have a lot of options here. Mostly you're going to be sticking with the text option at this point. So we're going to start with the name, which is Client 1 name. The variable, you're going to make sure you want something that is descriptive and yet concise. So I like to keep it pretty much the same as the actual question. So Client 1 name. You want to copy and paste that into your Excel spreadsheet so that you can use it for future reference. You can also make any of these questions required by checking this check mark or not. Okay. The next question on the spreadsheet is Client 1 County. Now, you may only work in certain counties, so this would be a good opportunity to use the drop-down feature. Question name, variable. Make sure to copy and paste that back into your spreadsheet. Now here there is a box for you to create each option in the drop-down menu. So let's go ahead and put in 3 options here: Pine, Oak, and Maple counties. The third question is Client 1 state. For this one, let's try the multiple choice option. You want to put in the question. You want to create the variable. Make sure to copy and paste it. All right. So they look quite similar, but the difference is you will notice in the drop-down, you'll be able to click and then choose from a multitude of items. Multiple choice provides those options directly on the questionnaire. So for me, it's best practices to use multiple choice if there are 4 or less options, and the drop-down if you have more than 4 options. So let's say in this example, your clients come from 2 states, Illinois or Iowa. Next, we'll need to create a list of the successor trustees. So let's go ahead and click on New Page. We're going to want to name this page Successor Trustees. And we're going to add the question, a repeating item. So the item name, we're going to name that also Successor Trustee. The initial question is the first question that's going to be asked on the questionnaire. So we want to ask, are there any successor trustees? The continuing question is the question that's going to be repeated until the answer is no. So it'll be, are there any other successor trustees to list? Now, what questions we want to ask? Let's go to our Excel spreadsheet. We know we need to ask the trustee's name and the relationship to Client 1. So let's go ahead and ask, What is the relationship of the successor trustee to client 1? And then the variable I'm going to put here is trustee relationship. Make sure to copy and paste that back into your Excel spreadsheet. And we want to ask another question. What is the successor trustee's full name? And we'll put trustee name for the variable. Copy and paste that as well. Okay. And so those are the only 2 questions we need to fill out the table on the durable power of attorney. So let's go ahead and save that. Now we have to automate the Word doc and attach it to the Documate questionnaire. So going back to this document, we will begin by opening the Documate document tagger. It's an add-on that is right up top here. So you want to click on that. It's going to ask you to log in. All right, and so you can see here, what's nice about this, it makes automating simple documents so very easy. It connects directly to the variables in the workflow that you selected. Now we'll go through each of the document pages, and we will look and see if for any highlighted sections that we need to replace with the variables that we have created in this workflow. So the first instance here is C1, which is my placeholder for client 1. So I like to delete that out. We're adding a very simple variable at this point. And this is where this Excel spreadsheet can come in handy, especially if you have multiple variables that you need to keep track of. So here we know we're looking for client 1 name. There are formats that you can use. The standard format is going to be exactly how you've entered it in the questionnaire. Otherwise, you can make it all uppercase, or you can have the first capital letters just to make sure that if you didn't put them in capitalized, that it would do that automatically. Now I will choose uppercase, and then you insert the variable. As you can see here, it has the brackets on each side, and then has the uppercase language afterwards. I also like to check and make sure that we have a spacing correct behind each of my variables. Now I know that there are more client 1 names at the end of this document, so I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down. And you see here I have some C1s here. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out, then insert the variable into each of those sections. Okay, so we're going to go back up to the very top and go through the next variables. So I have the county of, and we put in the county name. We're going to go ahead and replace that with client 1 county, standard size, because it's going to be the drop down, that's going to be the only option you have, and then insert that in there. I want to double check the spacing there. That's the only time we mention the county, so just move forward with the state names. One last time down here. Spacing issues look correct. Okay, so now we can go back to the successor trustee table. Now this is going to be a table that's going to take the place of this placeholder of 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go ahead and delete these 3 placeholders. Give ourselves a little space there to work in. All right, so we're done with the simple variables. We're now going to go down to the very last one to see repeating item. Now, you have many options on how to have this repeating item show up into your document. I choose table. I like the look of the table on this document. So you need to put in a repeating field. We only have 1 repeating field in our questionnaire, so that's the only one available. And then you need to put the values that you would like to be in that repeating field. But we want to start with a relationship, and then with the name. And then we insert the field. All right, so as you can see, we have a whole table here, Now, you could go ahead and delete this information here. That is not going to be something that's going to be on the final document. So you can delete that now, or you can delete it at the end final document run. But this inserts the table. You'll see that it'll have the relationship and the name in that order and the different boxes for that table. So now I'll want to save this document and give it a test run. So I went back to the Documate workflow. So we want to put an output document and upload the Word doc to the questionnaire. So I'm going to choose the file here. All right. It's added to the output documents. So at this point, we want to save and run to do our test questionnaire. All right, we need the client's name. Let's say his name is John Robert Doe. We can say he lives in Oak County, Iowa. Are there any successor trustees? This is our original question of the repeating items. We're going to say yes, there are. John Robert Doe's sister, Jane Ann Doe. Now here, they do allow you to add another directly here so that you can kind of, move quickly through any of the successor trustees that you might have. So John Robert Doe's brother, Jack Michael Doe. Let's add one more. All right. So we're going to continue forward. It's going to have us review what our entries are. At this point, you are able to edit. So if you see any misspellings, this is where you're going to want to go through. So we have, this looks correct, Jane Ann, Jack Michael, and Jill Marie. All right, continue. And here we are. You can even go back and change if you're not in Oak County, but maybe he's in Pine County or it was supposed to be Illinois. You could change the answers here. Give one more chance to actually change these as well. These look good, so we're going to continue. And Documate is now processing and has created our document. So we have two ways to actually download the document if you'd like as a PDF. However, we're probably going to want to edit some things. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. And it goes to my download folder. Okay. And you can see now we have our final document. Here, John Robert Doe, in all caps, has been put in as the principal. The county of Oak, state of Iowa. All right. Under the Iowa Durable Power of Attorney. That was good. Now here we have our table. Now you're able to format this table in any shape, way, or form that you like to through the Word doc. I would typically insert a column to the left. Okay. You can space out any way you see fit. And this way I can enter a 1, a 2, and a 3. So that we have them listed here. You can also click the borders and shading if you wanted to take out all the boxes at that point, depending on how you like it to look. You can see all the way through. We have the Iowa Durable Power of Attorney all the way down to the very last page where we have John Robert Doe's name listed in the 3 different sections here. There we go. Have a questionnaire that is going to produce durable power of attorney here for you. Now you can see just how easy automating documents are. We look forward to helping you automate your documents and create quick and easy questionnaires for all of your document needs.